Hiya Beans, it's your mama bean, Allie, and welcome to another Q&A part 2. It actually has been a while since I've done a Q&A video. Technically, I'm just busy doing ASMRs and, entertaining you little beans. And I think it's that time again to do a part 2 on, asking your mama bean. So, of course, I did a community post like a few days ago, and I let you beans like ask me anything anime related, anime ASMR related, or behind me. So I guess we should begin. I think I already did an introduction, from the first one. If you guys want to check that out, the link will be in the description. See part 1. I think that's about it. And I'm not going to answer questions that's already been answered from the first one, like age and where I'm from. Technically, just letting you know, but anyways, let us begin. So the first question was asked by Lemmy, if I say that correctly, and they asked, when did you start making ASMRs? Pretty easy question, but I started making ASMRs way back around May of 2022, last year, so yeah. The next one is by Bisexual Demon, it's a long one, but they asked, why did you pick the name Allie Stitches? This name was actually my old edgy name, I started making that name when I was 15. It was inspired by a few characters that I'm just fascinated by and who I keen. Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Juzo Suzuya from Tokyo Ghoul, because I like to draw stitches on my arms too. That's behind the name. And also, people can't pronounce my actual name correctly, so I think Ali is more easier to pronounce for everyone. The next one is, what made you want to start doing anime ASMRs? This has been, again, this used to be a really big insecurity that I've done, and I've always liked to do voice acting for years, but I was too shy to upload stuff. And it also inspired me to, create this sort of content instead of making what other ASMRs do for other entertainment, technically for younger audiences. So I want to give the younger audiences better ASMR that isn't too filthy. And the last one, what was my first cosplay? I think I've already answered this in a live stream. My first ever anime cosplay was CL Phantom Hive, and I don't have pictures, and they just look so awful. I was 13 going through a Black Butler phase, and I thought, I'm gonna cosplay as CL, and it turned out horrible. I was him for Halloween, and nobody knew who I was. True story. The next one is from Snarfalicious, and they ask, how do you come up with ideas for ASMRs, and how do you choose the characters for them? Simple. I just try to match like what plot would be suitable for a character, or sometimes I just think of random stuff like, what should I do with this character next? Oh yeah, I'll put them in this sort of scenario. I really like to overthink things through, so it's a habit of mine. The next one is from Ollie Edits, and they ask, what other kinds of animes do you watch? Well, I have been getting caught up on animes that I never finished, or sometimes I get into new ones, like I'm finishing up Spy X Family. I also got into Erased. That's a really good anime, and I want to get into Yu Yu Hatsuko, or I think that's how I say it, because of course it's another creation by Yoshihiro Togashi, and I want to check it out because there's this character that actually made me fascinated, and turns out he was the inspiration of Kurapika, and I'm like, count me in. The next question is from Sarah Hathaway, and they ask, what was the first anime you watched, and what's your favorite anime? So the first ever anime that I actually watched, is what I remembered, is Full Metal Alchemist. I think it was a movie, I forgot which one, but that's what I remembered, and it made me feel fascinated. And my favorite anime, I don't really have a favorite, I just love all animes. The next question is from Toffee Coffee VA, and they asked, what is your favorite place to visit? There used to be this one place that I like to go to, and sadly it's been taken down and going for rent. It used to be the ceramic shop that my granny used to own, but sadly she passed away, and I always like to go there to paint ceramics and glaze them because she really made me fascinated with ceramics, and I want to create more and bring things to life. So it was a childhood favorite of mine until it got taken down due to her death. So I used to love the place, but now looking back at it, I'm like, it just feels so empty. Anyways, the next question is from Bluebell Sonority, and they ask, do you listen to your own videos for relaxation and fun? Okay, to be honest, yeah, I do. It's just sometimes hearing my voice, I'm just like, not bad. Or I just started cringing like, I don't like it, especially for Hunter x Hunter related. It's always Hunter x Hunter related, and I'm just cringing like, is that what I really sound like? The next is from Journal of a Wimpy Girl, and they ask, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is purple. Next is from Jay Zoldik, and they asked, how many animes have you watched? I've lost count. The next is from Hermione Granger, and they asked, who are your two favorite characters from Hunter x Hunter? Easy, Killua and Kurapika. Next is from Killua, and they asked, what is the most traumatizing anime scene that you have ever seen? Oh my god, I think there was one that kind of still scares me to this very day. It's a very well-known one. It's from Sho Tucker's experiment on his own daughter and dog from Full Metal Alchemist. It made me cry and traumatized that someone would do this to their own child, and I can literally see that happening. It's so heartbreaking and messed up in many ways. The next one is from Aura, and they ask, thoughts on Hizuka? Let's see, 3 words. Creepy, good looking, red flag. The next question is from Purple Rose, and they ask, what is the most coldest scene you have seen in all anime? Okay, this is recent, and I checked out the new Junji Ito's Maniac, and there was this story called The Bully, and I thought it was one of the most disturbing, most heartbreaking, and coldest story by Junji Ito, and it made me cry that the poor boy is now being bullied by his own mother that bullied his own dad. It's just one of the most saddest stories I've ever listened to and watched and read. Yeah, it was just so cold. The next question is by Len Kagamine, and they ask, what is your favorite character to work with? Okay, deeply, I really enjoy doing Alois Chansey. I just love doing his voice, especially when I speak British. Not gonna lie, I do sound a lot like Alois whenever I speak British, like, oh, would you care for some tea? Kind of like that. And the next question is from Lavender. They ask, what's your favorite food and my nationality? My favorite food, I love taquitos. I just love taquitos. It's just my weakness. And nationality, surprisingly, I think you guys may be a little surprised, but I'm half Mexican, Irish, and some French. The next question comes from Jasmine Forever, and I think most of these I've already answered. And I think the one that kind of made me laugh was, who would you date from Hunter x Hunter? Okay, of course, Kurapika. Indeed, I would go for that. Just mafia Kurapika in that suit. Sorry, Mama's being a Curtis simp. The next one is by Mitsuba-san, and they ask, how did you feel when you posted your first ever ASMR? And why did you feel that way? Ever since I posted my first ever ASMR, which was Kurapika, I actually felt happy. A little cringy because it was my first ever video speaking in a different language, and I actually feel blessed that I found something that'll, make me feel more secure and more, confident for myself, not only for my voice, but also my passion. The next question comes from Nazi Meds. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but they asked, which voice is the easiest to do for Hunter x Hunter? Of course, Kurapika is more easy because I try to sound a bit more, deeper, like, hello, I'm Kurapika, something like that. And this next one, oh my goodness, so it's by Chrissy. So to any of you wanting to know my height, I'm technically the same height as Hanako-kun, 4'11". And the next one, why do I love Kurapika? I just think he's a very well-developed character. And also, the whole revenge thing does seem quite crazy, but it's completely understandable, and I'm always going to be Team Kurta for what the Phantom Troop has done to his family. And what anime made me cry? There's so many that made me cry. I think The Promised Neverland made me cry like a mess. Like, I couldn't stop crying for the next 30 minutes. Are you a soft-hearted person? Yeah, I can be pretty soft-hearted, but sometimes I can be very worrisome too. And the last one, funniest moments while recording that you could never forget. Okay, I think this is from the Halloween special, and I tried to say what Bisky is trying to say, Taylor Lautner. I tried to hold in my laughter because I thought it was the most funniest thing I've ever came up in my head. So I had to take like 3 takes to try not to laugh. And recording most of my Gonz lines because I almost sounded like the infamous Gonokio. The next one is from I Love Celeste, and they ask, what is your favorite song and music artist? I have way too many favorite songs, and I think I gotta say Titanium by David Guetta featuring Sia. It's been like one of my most favorite songs and always gives me goosebumps to this very day. I also don't have a favorite artist because I love music in general. The next one is from Moichido's Flower, and they've asked, would I ever make any more Attack on Titan related content? Of course I would. I mean, I'm just so used to doing Hunter x Hunter and Black Butler, but I would be glad to do more Attack on Titan. Just need to have some inspiration. The next question is from user TY91Z6. They asked, do I have a Nintendo Switch? Yes, I do. Which anime is your most favorite? Black Butler or Hunter x Hunter? I gotta say Hunter x Hunter. I mean, it's gotta beat that. What would you do in the future when you become a famous ASMR? I'm guessing doing collabs, maybe do an anime to Funimation, I think? I mean, I can see it happening, like me in an anime. I guess My Hero Academia, or I don't know, some random anime I'd be starring in. The next one is from Cora Likes Socks, and they've asked, what's my favorite animal? Okay, first of all, it's not too personal, and it's okay, I can still answer. My favorite animal has to be a white tiger. I just find them very fascinating, and anything albino is just so breathtaking to look at. Anything white could always be beautiful. Next is Lily Edits, and they ask, do you do art? Of course I do, I'm an artist. I love to draw and paint. It actually kills time, and it's a true passion of mine. The next one is by Cafe DLVA, and they ask, do you have a favorite flower? Yes, I do. I love roses. I also really like lilies. And orchids may be a personal favorite because my mom kind of resembles me as an orchid, and I think they're so cute little flowers. Next question is from Neferpito, and they've asked, have you ever watched South Park? Yeah, I do. I am such a huge fan of South Park. Just a fun fact from Mama Bean. The next one is from Peak Knives. They've asked, what is your least favorite character to do in an audio of? Beans, I am so sorry to break your heart, but I do not like to do Ray from The Promised Neverland. I think it was a bad idea to do Ray because my voice cracked when I did his voice and I couldn't talk properly. So again, I'm so sorry to any Ray simps, any Ray fans and Promised Neverland fans. I am deeply sorry. The next question comes from Kura, and they've asked, how is your voice too calm? I'm just used to that sort of talk. I don't really talk a lot when it comes to school, work, or when I'm around people. I just really have a very soft-spoken voice because I'm shy. I don't really like to raise my voice a lot, but sometimes the time I raise my voice is when I'm laughing too hard or just giggly. Next is by Alois Trancy in real life. They ask, when did you start cosplaying? Well, of course, it was around 13, but it failed miserably. So, yeah, I think I was 16 when I started cosplaying because I was getting the motivation to dress up more. The next question is by your local pigeon, and they've asked, how do you feel about all of your fans who watch you? Sometimes a little anxious, sometimes it brings a big smile to my face that it turns out for the past few months we developed a community together and it keeps growing and growing pretty slowly. I'm just blown away technically. But I always feel very happy when my beans actually watch my content because you guys know what I do. It's just bringing comfort and love to all of you. And that's a job of mine. Next question is by Exhausted Little Mochi, and they asked, would you rather do Kurapika ASMRs or do Alois Trancy's ASMRs? To be honest, I'd rather do a lot of Alois Trancy ASMRs because I think he seems a little underrated. Kurapika has so many people, voicing him in ASMRs. I can't even count because there's a lot, and I'm one of them, so I'd rather do Alois because he needs love too. I mean, no offense to Kurapika, I would still do Kurapika. Next one is by Foxy Kurta. They asked, do you like Five Nights at Freddy's? Yeah, I really do. I used to be scared of it. And I think my favorite character has to be Bonnie, the bunny. I just love Bonnie, he's just cute. And which FNAF game you like? I kind of like the second one. The next question comes from Gloria Fletcher, and they ask, when did you start watching Hunter x Hunter? Is what I remembered, I may be 14 and a half. Yeah, 14 and a half when I started watching Hunter x Hunter. Next is by user XI3HL9. And they asked, it's kind of like a would you rather, so kiss, marry, kill, Killua, Leorio, and Kurapika. Okay, number one, I love these three, so I would say marry Kurapika. I'd kiss Leorio and Killua. Well, for Killua, I will kiss him on the cheek or forehead. Leorio, his shoulder, because I couldn't reach him because I'm like 4'11". He's like 6'2", so pretty understandable. Next question is by Little Dummy, and they asked, who's your favorite character from Black Butler? I had so many favorite Black Butler characters. It used to be like Ciel, Aloy, sometimes Sebastian, but deep down into my heart, it has to be Undertaker. I fell in love with him so slowly, I just didn't realize how attractive he truly is, especially with those green eyes. Mommy like. And our last comment is by Little Fandoms, and they asked, what's your favorite snack and your least favorite anime character? My favorite snack are Pockies, of course. I absolutely love Pockies. Any sort of one. I think my favorite Pockies has to be, of course, the original chocolate, strawberry, and green tea. I absolutely love green tea. And my least favorite character, sorry to any fans, but Claude Faustus from Black Butler Season 2. He's just creepy. Number one, he's a spider. Number two, he's creepy around children. Number three, he's like Hisoka in Black Butler in demon form. Sorry, gotta say it. And I guess there's a reason why I have to skip a few questions because it's like the same ones, like when did you become an ASMRist, favorite color, and how I became an ASMRist, and what got me into doing it. I think the quick thing to say is back then it used to be a joke, but now I'm just gonna continue because I think most of you do deserve more comfort and love, because this community is also a safe place for everyone, like in sorts. Because I thought this actually warms my heart that people say I am next to their list that are next to these sorts of people, like Anime Audios, Killua's Safe Place, and Shania, Jameer, and how can I forget about Kaldai Johan? Anyways, yeah, I'm always the top tier. It almost made me cry, like I became everyone's favorite ASMRist when it comes to anime, so I just want to say to all of you, don't thank me. I want to thank you for being part of this community and building it up with so much love and positivity, because that's all I've ever wanted, is to bring everyone together and bring a smile. Just, if you ever feel bad or look down, or just feel down or something's going through in your life, I would also be here if you ever want to vent, or you can vent in a comment section. And just, I may be bad at explaining stuff, but I have been making sure that most of you beans are okay and safe and nothing happens, because safety is also matters what. Plus, I love you. Anyways, I just want to end it all by saying thank you so much for this video and listening and getting to know me a little bit. Yes, the March schedule is already set up, and I hope you're all hyped to see what's gonna happen. And like if you enjoy this, comment down below your opinions, and maybe I'll do another part 3. Anyways, have a wonderful day, little beans, and be safe, and I hope you're hyped for some more adventures with these anime characters. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!